Welcome back, Youngzers, episode 5. A little bit of loaded schedule here today. I think this is our Steelers preview, if I'm correct. Second preseason game was played last night. That was the first one I got to watch. I got to see some highlights from the first. Pirates talk, maybe. I don't know. Might hijack a little bit of Buckos talk. No Penguins. No Penguins, I don't think, unless I missed something. But I'll let you guys take it over. I'm still a little rattled, so.
A little wiped out from body surfing.
Oh yeah, I was in the waves. Took out a guy's legs. He was in my line of sights. I couldn't get out of the wave. You can't unride a wave once you're in one. So tabletopped him a bit, but other than that, good vacation. Lots of sun. You can tell, a little tanner probably. Got a little burnt here and there, but lots of good seafood. Lots of good ghost stories. Did like a little ghost tour, which was cool. And that's about it. Fun stuff.
Dan and I, didn't plan it. We got we're not matching, but we got the band t-shirt theme today. A little Def Lep and Metallica. So, it's a Sunday. You got the band shirts on, but the Steelers, I'm gonna get right into it. That Steelers game yesterday, I saw the second touchdown. I was about to hit the button. They're back. The Steelers might be back.
I'll tell you this right now, and pun intended, they were rocking and rolling, boys. I was excited. Now, everybody wants to say this and that. Everyone looks at the big plays, like the Jalen Warren 62-yard rush for a touchdown. That was great. But look up front. Huh?
Jalen Warren?
Yeah, Jalen Warren.
Thank you.
But look up front, where it starts is the offensive line. Sayamalu and was it Dan Moore? Great block. Deontay Johnson downfield. Not afraid to get his nose dirty. That's what you need to win games. You need to play as a team. You don't need this. It's me ball. It's a team ball.
I'm glad you said, Isaac Samala. I think he's going to go down as the best free agent acquisition the Steelers had this offseason. I mean, he's a mauler up front. He's an instant upgrade at left. I believe he's left guard, right?
Yes.
Over Dotson.
Yeah.
Easily the best, I think, free agent signing. And the thing that I was encouraged by was last year the Steelers were not a big play team. They didn't have many of those splash plays. So to see Jalen Warren 62-yard touchdown, what speed, by the way? He looked like I thought it was Willie Parker running down the sideline.
Fast Willie, yeah.
I immediately got transported back to the mid 2000s. Willie Parker was flying down the sideline in a preseason game. I had an instant vision of Edmund Nelson eating a rack of ribs, calling a touchdown. Those were the good days right there. But follow that up by Calvin Austin, who missed all of last year with the foot injury. Returns the punt, 50 yards, something like that.
That's stopped by the punter himself, right? That's who pretty much stopped him. He's fast.
54-yard return.
54-yard return. And then, the Steelers, I feel like the Steelers of the past few years, the first play after that would have been, Najee handoff for 2-3 yards. One play, they got beautiful throw by Kenny Pickett to Pat Freiermuth for a touchdown. And just like that, it was 14-0. So, we talked about how the offense, it's an offensive league, but the offense had the splash plays yesterday. The defense had some key fumble recoveries, interceptions. Chandon Sullivan, that one where he tipped it with his hand and then dove and caught it, I think he's coming in on a blitz. Those are the plays that they need to make. And to see those against the Buffalo Bills, who many think are the top team in the AFC, it was like Texas football. You're ready to say they're back, but it's preseason. You gotta hit the brakes a little bit. But everything you saw yesterday, especially from the rookie class that played, it was impressive. Joey Porter interception. Granted, it was thrown right to him. Joey Porter Jr., I should say. Excuse me. Peasy Jr. But it was good coverage. He was in the right spot. Nick Herbig's looking like a steal. An outside linebacker. And you just see those plays being made and you're like, okay, they might have something here this year. It seems like everything's starting to click and turn and, they got the players they need. Now it's up to them really.
I'm not going to go that far yet. Granted, it's still preseason. I kind of want to see, 5 weeks of regular season games till I can say, everything's clicking. It's still a preseason game. it's a little more of an encouraging preseason game because they did shut down a Josh Allen led offense. And also the Buffalo defense, they aren't any slouches either. First team Steelers offense, went 2 drives maybe?
Drives, 2 touchdowns.
About 5 minutes total.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's very encouraging to see. Who knows, you could have like a one-hit wonder of a game. Like next preseason game, everything might blow up. Who knows? But I'm going to take what I saw yesterday as a step in the right direction, but a bigger step, because it would have meant something different if it was against, say, like the Texans or the Panthers or something. That's against a contending team. That was against their first string. I'm not sure if anyone was out for either side of the defensive or offensive side for the Bills. But they had the big players in there. They had Diggs in there. They had Allen in there. I forget on defense, maybe like Von Miller, Hamlin. Who are the two? Who's the cornerback and safety that?
Previous Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde. They got all those guys. But
that was a good window of a throw for Kenny Pickett right there. So good reads, good signs right off the bat. So I don't know. I'm excited for some Steeler football. I'll be pre-ordering my Super Bowl tickets here pretty soon.
No, I wouldn't go that far. But what I will say is I'm just going to reiterate what you guys have already said. And it might be beating a dead horse, but you get the big plays. They attack the middle of the field, which we didn't see last year. Piggybacking off of the first preseason game, I understand they only had 1 series, but what did they do? They went down and scored. Pickett the Pickens. Come out, second preseason game. It's like they didn't miss a beat. The Steelers were known for not scoring first drive touchdowns for a very long time, even at the end of Big Ben's era. So it's very, you can get optimistic about it because they've done it in 2 preseason games. I know, granted, it's an exhibition game, but you have your ones-on-ones out there, especially against Buffalo. A lot of national guys will say Buffalo's up there with the Cincinnatis and the Kansas Cities of the AFC. And it's hard not to put them up there when you have a guy like Allen, you have a weapon like Stephon Diggs that he's throwing to. But it just showed that I don't know if the Steelers were more prepared or they've just plugged the right pieces in, and it shows it takes time to build a winning team. I think they got the right pieces at the right time, and everything's meshing. It's a big puzzle, and this puzzle is now going to be a masterpiece. Do I want to go so far as saying that they're going to be a playoff team or a Super Bowl team? No, not yet. Okay. What I will say is they're a contender to make the playoffs, but like I said last week, I don't think playoffs are the ceiling for this team. I think they need to win at least 1 game in the playoffs. They really do. And I think they need to do it in decisive fashion. After the past 3 times, they've given up over 40 points in the playoffs. But I think that on defense, we have the right pieces. Veteran defense, they're going to win a lot of games for the Steelers. Kenny Pickett looks great. He does. There was a lot of question marks, but he's going to take that big step. He's going to take that Joe Burrow step. I really, really believe that. I was a little iffy, but I really think he's going to. And Andrew, I see you want to chime in. Go ahead, chime in.
Truly, I look at this roster from top to bottom. And if you guys don't mind, I'm going to break it into position. All right. Kenny Pickett.
Now,
Kenny Pickett.
If we need to jump in, we're going to jump in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kenny Pickett, Mitch Trubisky. You're set at quarterback, right?
Yes.
Trubisky, as shaky as he is, he's a good backup to have. He's a veteran guy. You could do a lot worse for your backups. Quarterback set. Running back, Najee, Jalen Warren both look good.
Now,
and Anthony McFarland's been looking good as a change of pace back. He's got that burst. So I think Jalen Warren's been playing better than Najee. I think that's what you're going to – I don't know if that's what you're going to say, Dan, but I think, running back room, you're set, right?
Yeah, I was going to ask are they going to carry 3 backs? I almost feel you have to. Okay.
Yeah. So you carry 3 backs. Your receiving core, Deontay, George Pickens, Allen Robinson is your top 3. Can't complain about
Calvin
that.
Austin in the mix.
With Calvin Austin as your speed guy. You're set there, and then whoever they go with, Gunnar Olszewski, Miles Boykin, whoever is your 5. Probably Gunnar I'll give the edge to right now. He's been out there a lot more with the offense making the plays. You're set there. Offensive line, and truly I think this is the only place on the team where you may have an issue is backup center, because the starters are set. Spencer Anderson, the 7th-round rookie, he's getting second team reps. He's been looking good. Herbig didn't play yesterday. Nate Herbig, he's there. Kendrick Green sucked yesterday again. I mean, I don't see how you carry him on the roster. I think you either, there's a couple guys that can play center, that are backup. I mean, you'll probably look after training camp cuts to get a true backup center. But that's really the only place on the offense where I see, okay, the depth, where you've seen depth in the past few years, they haven't had it. Look at the tight end room. Pat Freiermuth is I'd say top 8 tight end in the NFL. Darnell Washington in the red zone, you can't cover him. You saw them trying to. They were just draped on his back, and he's
that's
just
like a lineman.
Yeah.
An athletic lineman.
He's a freak.
He reminds me of Big Show. Like, he's just like trying to like throw him off, And then you have Zach Gentry, who has a third tight end. You want to call, you want to say that he's a good blocking tight end. He's reliable. And then Connor Hayward can play any position. I mean, your offense, I think, and this is just looking at the offensive side of the ball, it's set, except for that backup center position. I don't know. And you guys chime in now, for the offense. What do you see there?
I think we need more Derek Watt, first of all. We're missing that from last year.
Kick him, man. Kick him. Get him out of here.
Another comment like, hey, you're going to be out of here. You're going to be timed out. You're going to be muted. All right. We don't need none of that. But you have anything else to say, Ryan? Because I'll chime in.
Go ahead.
I think at worst, if you don't have a solid backup center, that's not a bad position to be in, honestly, because I hope the offensive line can stay healthy. And I understand guys get rolled up on and stuff. It happens all the time. But if that's your biggest concern on offense, you shouldn't have much of a concern at all. Because if you got to turn to the rookie, you got to turn to him. Like you said, Mitch Trubisky is a solid backup. He is a veteran guy. And as a backup in any position, you just hope that they can tread water for your team till your starter can come back. I understand there's, season-ending injuries. I understand that stuff happens. And I know Kenny took some whacks last year. But if you got to turn to Mitch Trubisky because Kenny took a whack or you stubbed a finger or something how you got stepped on and he can come back, later in the game, maybe in a week, and you got to turn to Mitch Trubisky, that's not the end of the world either. Offensively, young, explosive. It's exciting to see. Calvin Austin, I really thought that they should have turned to him to be a returner. Just the speed, like a Devin Hester, guys like that, Josh Cribbs, guys that just had that flat out speed, and he looked good doing it. So, exciting, young, explosive is what I'm going to say for the offense. Hopefully they can stay healthy, and that's what every fan hopes for their team is stay healthy. Yeah.
So the offense, I think, is basically set. Really, I don't see any issues or any depth issues there that would, cause any problems right now. I think that's just the offense. I think this is the best one they've had in quite a few years, probably since prime Levin AB. And Martavis Bryant, that offense, I mean, that was clearly a great offense. But this is, I think, shaping up to be one of the best offenses they've had in years.
And I think Allen Robinson's would be a good veteran to have in there with guys like, Pickens, Deontay, even Calvin Austin, stuff like that. But the main thing, skill position guys, those are the guys that are going to take, I'd say, the biggest step this year, like your Najee. Freiermuth, even, like, he hasn't really had a chance with all of his injuries. If he can stay healthy, I bet he has, nice step in year. Pickett and him already have a nice, decent connection, it looks like. But what it'll be nice to see, like Dan said, I think he's talking about a little bit, there's going to be injuries, but last year it seemed like there's a new combination of offensive line, like every game up until like maybe week 8, week 9. So I think we'll see a more solid set in lineup and not a lot of this like pick and choose, like confusion of a line, like who are you getting this week, who's going to be playing this week. Yeah. So that'll be good even for the quarterback, and especially, maybe you'll help out Najee and guys like that a little bit because he'll have a consistent guy blocking for him instead of, some hodgepodge of Joe Schmo and who else they'll be throwing out this week.
Yeah. So, offense is set. All right. You look at the defense now. Defensive line, Cam Hayward. And keep in mind, some of these guys have been dinged up in camp and haven't really played, but I'm just going to list them because they're roster locks and they're going to be there. Larry Ogunjobi, Cam Hayward. Keanu Benton, rookie, looked good before he had that minor ankle injury. He's like those Wisconsin boys on defense. T.J. Watt, Nick Herbig, Keanu Benton. Tomlin. We like to do business with him. DeMarvin Leal.
Oh,
I think Isaiah Loudermilk's playing his way into the. They got the dogs. Montravius Adams. That's your defensive line right there. Your outside linebackers, Watt and Highsmith, I think arguably the best A1 and AB, in the league. Nick Herbig as the third coming off the edge.
And I'll tell you, I'm going to chime in about Nick Herbig. Everyone said, oh, he's too small, smaller arms. The technique he uses, it makes him I wouldn't say unblockable, but very hard to block. He bull rush, gets the dips the shoulder, gets up in there, uses a rip, gets low, and he's just a lot faster. So them tackles have a hard time with that. So he uses the proper technique for his build, and that's why I think he's going to be very effective as a backup. And that's not a bad backup from what we've seen so far.
Yeah, he gets good blocks from guys that are like twice his size.
Yes.
He had like this awesome spin move. I was like watching the game. I was talking to Andrew. I was like, you see that awesome spin move he just did? And he shed the block and made the tackle. So I think he's just an athlete. He's a gamer for sure. Dog.
There was 2 reps from Herbig, that one, and then the one where he basically just went right into Deion Dawkins, who's one of the better tackles in the league, and just bull rushed him in, like bench pressed him in. The Steelers, when Watt or Highsmith gets hurt the past few years, they haven't had the depth there. This year, you look at who they got. They got Herbig and Marcus Golden, the veteran, another veteran signing where, all right, you got 4 outside linebackers where you can rotate them in and they're still going to be effective. So I think that's been a big upgrade, the outside linebacker depth. The inside linebacker room has been completely revamped. So you have Quan Alexander, Cole Holcomb, Landon Roberts, Mark Robinson, who looks like James Harrison Jr., just the build. I mean, you look at that, and then Tanner Muse, who's, he's younger, but he's a veteran. He's a great special teams guy. He's one that'll probably stick. So you basically have a whole new inside linebacker room where they're a lot more athletic. You're not going to see a Devin Bush, kind of just standing there. I mean, these guys are, Landon Roberts, downhill thumper. Holcomb and Quan Alexander can both, they're both athletic guys that can drop into coverage and rush. So your linebacking core across the board, the depth's there, and I think overall is just way better.
Complete overhaul there. We don't have to worry about a Bobby Spillane. Oh, he's not very good in coverage. You don't have to worry about a Devin Bush. Oh, he can't stop the run. So you got to pick your poison. I think we got some athletes there. That's exciting. I think that was the weakest spot on defense last year, and they completely overhauled it. And I can't give Omar Khan or Andy Weidel much more credit than I already have for them just completely revamping that middle linebacker position and getting somebody excited, because that's the quarterback of your defense, and those are guys you want to come up and make hits, make plays, drop into coverage if they have to. And they got some, as Ryan's been saying the whole time you've been talking about defense, dogs. So
yeah. So then, you look at the linebackers in line, even another signing, Braden Fehako, run stuffer, on the defensive line. But then you go to safety, obviously Terrell Edmonds is out. You still, he's with the Eagles now. You have Minka, who's an all-pro. And then I love the combo of DeMonte Casey, Keanu Neal. I think that's going to be a really good combo. So you're locked in at safety. There's the depth there where there's competition. I don't think Kenny Robinson or Trey Norwood will make the roster. Robinson's been quiet the past couple weeks. Norwood hasn't been out there. And like Ryan says, Tomlin, you're not available. You happen. Elijah Riley's had a couple picks in the back game, so he's someone that can also play in the slot corner. Which Cam Sutton to the Lions was the big, the big loss from the defense. But the cornerback room: Joey Porter Jr., Patrick Peterson, Levi Wallace, who I think is one of the more underrated cornerbacks in the league. And then you have Chandon Sullivan, another free agent that's been in there. And, I'm not a fan of James Pierre. I think he's just too small in his special teams. What he contributes on special teams, I don't think is going to necessitate a roster spot for him anymore. But if your top 3 corners, if you have Peterson, Peasy Jr., and Levi Wallace, I think that's a great 3 corners to have. And special teams wise, obviously Boswell's locked in, and then Presley Harvin's been picking it up. Braden Mann outside looking in on the competition. So defensively, I don't really see much of depth or any issues there. That's what I mean. This whole roster, like you said, Omar Khan, Andy Waddle put together a great roster with a good mix of young guys and veteran depth. Where I think the biggest thing that I see looking at the past few years coming in, there's no drama on this team. There's not a Melvin Ingram bitching about playing time. There's no holdouts, like, oh, Le'Veon's holding out, no AB drama. He's in a hot air balloon, freezing his feet off, doing whatever he's doing. You don't have any of that this year. It's strictly business. They're a fun team to watch. And more importantly, for me, this is one of the more fun teams to root for, to get behind.
I'll chime in. I can't agree with you more, because how many times have we gone in training camp and, oh, this guy's holding out? I understand, make your money. I get it. I do. But it does leave a dark cloud over the team, and there's distractions. TJ Watt did it. Oh, I'm not going to do team stuff. I'll do individual stuff. You're almost putting yourself first, and I get it. You kind of have to, because you're betting on yourself, but it does leave a bad aura over the team. I'm glad you said Presley Harvin. He had 5 punts for 191 yards with 38.2 average, pinned all 5 of them within the 20. So that's good. I'll take that. I think special teams, they did just fine. They're flipping the field with Calvin Austin on that punt return, flipping the field with Presley Harvin booting the ball away, pinning them inside their own 20. It might be the homer in me, but it is exciting, because I don't think we've really had this much positivity around this team. Now, here's my one thing, and I want to turn it over to Ryan. We'll turn it over to you first. Is this a make or break kind of year for Mike Tomlin? He's got the pieces. They built the team. The defense is one of the highest paid teams in the league. It's a veteran defense. Now the offense is clicking. He's got the pieces there. Is this a contract year for him, because they have not given him an extension? And I understand he could probably coach for the Pittsburgh Steelers until he says he's going to retire. But as a fan, do you not want more from him?
I'm going to give him this year. They're not contenders, obviously. They could be, but right now they're not, they're not the Chiefs. They're not the Bills. They're not, let's say, the Bengals. But if you could have a year like the Giants had last year, or like the Seahawks had last year, where you sneak into the playoffs, win a game, like you said earlier, I think that's a good enough step, because let's say, when was the last time the Steelers won a postseason game?
2012?
Yeah, 12.
I think.
Maybe.
It's been over a decade.
No. I think the last one they won was the Cincinnati game, where
it was like 2018, maybe.
No, I think it's longer than that. 2016.
Really? That long? I don't think it's that long. It has to be 18 or
2017. 2017.
So if you can get into the playoffs this year, I'd say that is that's the standard, is getting to the playoffs. You can't regress, and you can't go less than 500 this year. That's a regression. So last year, where were they? 8-8? 500?
No.
Exactly. What were they?
No, because they play 17 games.
9-8, right?
Yeah.
They weren't.
No, didn't they have a tie in there last year?
Oh, they might have.
Was that when they tied the Lions?
Yes. Yeah, because Mason came in, didn't he?
They're 8-1.
That was 2 years ago. They tied the Lions.
Okay.
Because that was the first ever Steeler game I went to, and Big Ben got the Rona. I get there. Mason Rudolph's in at quarterback. It was 34 degrees and raining, and it was.
They were 9-8.
So they were 9-8 last year. So let's say you got to win 10 games at least this year. Or else, in my eyes, that's a regression.
Okay.
You got to win at least 10 games, and you got to make playoffs. That's the goal. Make playoffs. So I'd say next year the goal is to, be a contender, win at least 2 games in the playoffs, get to a division title or conference championship.
Now that's your
third year quarterback is the big year.
Yeah,
it's not 2 usually.
That's your ceiling, is playoffs for them. Just make the playoffs.
My ceiling is 2 playoff wins.
No, this year.
Or the floor is to make the playoffs.
Okay.
Ceiling is get to the conference championship. That's like if Kenny Pickett and everybody just plays lights out all year. You know, they win the games that they should, win a couple that they shouldn't. You know, maybe sweep the Bengals, sweep the Ravens. Who knows? But it could go either way. It could be. I'd say the floor is making the playoffs. That's in my eyes.
I mean, I'd say that's the floor. You make the playoffs this year, and you get at least one win. You know, that's what the goal, I think, or that's what I'm expecting from them this year. But you asked Dan, and is this a make or break year for Tomlin? I don't think so. Like you said, he's going to be the coach here as long as he wants to be. I think it's the make or break year for Matt Canada. That's who I think it all hinges on, because whenever you have a coach that's here and he's going to be staying here, when expectations fall short, it's not going to be on him as much. It's always going to be on a scapegoat, kind of thing. Or, you look at the coordinators, Matt Canada, it's already basically been known that, okay, this year's like a make or break year for him. He's been under scrutiny for a couple years now. And I think that's the guy where if they falter, or I don't see a regression, but if the offense doesn't live up to its standards with the talent and weapons they have, I think he's on his way out and they bring someone new in. So that's who I think it's a true make or break year for Matt Canada.
The thing is also, like Andrew said, there's going to be a lot of pieces that fall before Mike Tomlin, but I don't think that's going to happen either. What better options are there, honestly, than Mike Tomlin? Who's going to take you to the promised land other than him at this point? That's just be like starting from scratch, basically. And that's not the Steeler way. How many Steeler coaches have there been? Maybe a total of
three in the last 60 years. So
they don't fire coaches. No. What you're going to see is, they're going to give him at least 5 more years. We'll say bare minimum 5 years. This year coordinators give him like 3 more. So 4 or 5 years more, and they're not going to fire him. They're going to say, all right, you're going to gracefully step down or you're going to retire, which I couldn't see Mike Tomlin going anywhere else other than Steelers. He's going to retire a Steeler coach. I don't think he's going to go to like Tampa or, anywhere else.
No, I'm not sitting here and being a Tomlin hater at all. But when expectations fall short for so many years, whenever you're a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, you expect to win. And I understand he has never had a losing season. I understand that. But they don't put banners up there at Acrisure Stadium for that. They put banners up there for AFC championships. They put them up there for Super Bowl titles. What's the word?
Giving Goff?
No. I can't think of the word. Anywho, it's been very hard to, I wouldn't say root for the team, but for the team to regress so much to where we're content with just mediocrity. I understand 8-8, you go 500, or, you don't have a losing season, but how many playoff wins have we had in the last 10 years, 12 years, 15 years? Not very many. And when your last 3 times you made it to the postseason, you're getting blown out, 40 points you're giving up. Blake Bortles, Baker Mayfield, and I can't remember who it was. Patrick Mahomes? Yeah, Mahomes, yeah. So you're giving up 40 points to 2 nobodies, and I know, Mahomes he's going to end up being the greatest of all time. Only time will tell. Oh, yes, he's going to be way better than Brady. He already is. He's got he's got the skills, but he's just got to get the accolades now. But when you get to that point, you're getting blown out by 2 nobodies, Jacksonville and the Browns in the playoffs, and they're putting up numbers on you. That doesn't sit well with a fan that is used to, you come into our house and we're going to smack you around. You're not smacking us around. So like I said, I'm not a Tomlin hater. I think he's done great. I've given him praise for what he's done, when he had Duck Hodges in there, and he's still going 8-1. I understand that, and I get that. I just want to see some more wins, and I want to see Super Bowl runs. I want to see them contend for a title. I want your Pittsburgh Steelers are Super Bowl champions. Go to shopnfl.com to get your official Super Bowl championship gear. That's what I want. And I've been waiting for too damn long. 08 was the last one. 09. Come on now. as a Pittsburgh Steeler fan, I'm expecting them to be in the conversation every year.
But listen, you're a Pittsburgh sports fan in general. You're a Steelers fan. You're expecting to contend. You're a Penguins fan since '05. You're expecting to contend. You're a Pirates fan. You don't expect shit. That's just how it is. Loser mentality right there. It's a shame whenever Pittsburgh's a fantastic sports town, but this is just me ranting about the Pirates. You're okay. Let's get 70 wins this year. Let's do that. Like, no, how about you go out there and compete for a playoff berth, anything like that. It's just, and this is just me bitching. I'll get into the Pirates. It's a loser mentality for a loser franchise. That's all I'm saying. That's just my rant. But no, the Steelers, you expect to contend every year because that's the standard they have set. As Mike Tomlin says, the standard is the standard. I don't think they lived up to that standard the past how many years.
Yeah,
it's time for that to change, and this is the year where the tide starts turning in that direction. It has to. It has to.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more because have we been spoiled? Possibly, but
100%.
But that's our generation. There's guys who grew up, when the Steelers and the Buccos were good in the 70s, and they talk about it. Steelers winning 4, the Buccos winning that 1 in 79. Great. I wish I could talk about the Buccos being, winning World Series and stuff, but I had the Penguins. But then in the 90s, the Penguins were good. And I get it. There was dark times. Have we been spoiled? Yeah, absolutely. But when you're spoiled like that, what formula works. Let's get back there. I understand the game changes and stuff, but if you have the right people at the top, any organization, you start putting them puzzle pieces together, get that masterpiece. Let's get back to the masterpiece. I want to see the masterpiece. I want to see, the Sistine Chapel. I want to see, stuff like that. That's what I think of when I think of Pittsburgh sports. It's just a masterpiece.
It all starts with ownership. The Rooneys, grade A ownership family. When the Penguins, Mario bought the Penguins, that brought that winning mentality, that championship got people excited. The Pirates have a hillbilly with some newspapers as their owner. That's all that needs to be said there.
And also, I want to add this to the whole Steelers situation. It's got to have a little luck too. When you win a title, every championship, you got to have the skill, you got to have the players, you got to have the management, the ownership, all that in a bag of chips. There's also a little luck in there. We don't talk about that a lot. And I think a couple of those years in the 2010s, Steelers might have a little bad luck. Talk about Tim Tebow having his Tebow game against the Steelers. They don't run into the Patriots a couple times. I think the Patriots might have stolen maybe another Super Bowl from them. You could argue that.
Rashard Mendenhall doesn't fumble and then become a nutcase on Twitter. I mean, that's what you have.
You gotta have a little luck,
But a lot of it does come down to injuries. Players go down, that derails a season. But that's where I go back to this year. The Steelers have the depth where an injury to a starter for a couple games or something, it may not make as big of a difference as you'd think because the depth's there where the drop off in 90% of the cases. You can manage that for a few games, and it's still, a quality player starting. It's not like a Duck Hodges having to step in or who did they remember? It was a few years ago. It was more early 2010s. Running backs got hurt, and in the playoffs they signed like Ben Tate or the old Texans running back.
I remember Tyler Palko starting a game against the Ravens, right?
I don't think Palko was ever a Steeler.
Yeah, Palko.
He started the game. I don't know. Palko versus Flacco.
Was it? Did he start it or was he the backup and ended up having to come in? I know Tyler Palko was in a Steeler uniform. Yes, he's not wrong.
I gotta look.
He's not wrong. Yeah.
And what else was I gonna say? Hold on, I forgot. There's something about the Steelers and like winning and so. Yeah, football's a lot different because the best team isn't always going to advance to the next round. You could easily, in other sports, it's a best of 7 or sometimes best of 5, but you're getting one game in the NFL. If you're not ready for that one game, that lesser team might smack you in the mouth. That's you're one and done. There's no second chance. There's no game 7. So you got to be ready to go.
No, I get that, and I agree with you. That's why they go out there and play the game. Any given Sunday, anybody can win, and I get that. I really do. It doesn't. There's no paper champion. That's why whenever these teams that are clear cut, they're going to be in the Super Bowl this year. Buy your tickets if you're a Kansas City fan, and sometimes they falter. It happens. It's not a paper champion league. You can't just be like, well, they've got the best team on paper. You got to get out there and play that. And I understand that. And I totally agree with you. And like you said, with the luck thing, you run into good luck, you run into bad luck.
The one that you need the most luck.
Yeah.
It's one game. Injuries are a lot more significant, I'd say, in football. It's a lot easier to get hurt, concussion, stuff like that. One main guy can go down. Your most important guy is always the one that's going to be in the range of fire every play. Quarterback is undoubtedly the most important position on that field, and he's the one that people are gunning for every play. So you got to have a little bit of luck on your side.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Maybe keep a rabbit's foot in your pocket.
Or if you're at Castro, you got an iPhone.
Yeah.
He's in Philly now.
Yeah, good.
With no case either, nonetheless.
Yeah. And the thing that people don't understand about, that's not dirt. That's crushed up brick out there. So it looks like dirt. So it's got some graininess to it. It'll scratch that phone right up. Jag off.
The nice thing is, like, how'd you even get that thing in the dugout to begin with? To have it in your pocket.
I mean, I don't think Eric Shelton's doing a pat down of all the players in the in the dugout. So.
The thing that gets me about that situation is they thought he was like, oh, he's got an electronic device on him. Is he stealing signs? Is he recording signs? The Buccos couldn't win if you put the Little League World Series champions out there, let alone whoever they were playing that night. He ain't stealing shit.
That's why it was always hilarious when a pirate would be caught with like steroids in like the 2000s or like the early 2010s. You'd be like, he's probably using the wrong damn stuff to begin with. It was like some Joe Schmo, like Rod Barajas or like Lastings Millage or something.
Marlon Bird, he got popped.
They couldn't even cheat, right? They couldn't even cheat at that point. So yeah, that's a Steelers season preview. Expectations high.
Speaking about Steelers season preview, since let's still stay on that topic for a second.
Okay.
Do you guys want to give your predictions for this year?
Yeah. Do you want me to do that right now?
Here.
So how's our You have our Bucco predictions still? How are those looking?
Somewhere. Terrible. There's
what was I at 90? Remember I was at like 90? Yeah. I thought I was like looking good at the beginning. I
said 65.
So you're looking all right.
I'm right there. Or maybe I said 68, something like that. I said under the Vegas total. But if you guys want to, I'll read off the game. You tell me win loss, and we'll just rip down here. And Ryan, you pull it up on your notes, and you keep the notes. All right.
All right.
You ready?
So, am I doing the final tally or as we go?
Keep it as we go, and then we'll do the final at the end.
Because then they're playing what, 17 games?
17 games.
So I'll just count the wins and then add like the other dash. All right.
September 10th, 1:00 kickoff. It's our first home game in 6 years to kick off the season. Niners Steelers. What do you guys got?
Win.
A win.
I got it a win as well.
Come out the past 2 years with a first week win. Was it last year Bengals? 2 years ago Buffalo?
Yes.
So I think for me that's a win.
That's a win. So we all got a win there.
Hold on. I'm trying to format this so I can easily kind of get this going here. I got to see the whole schedule though to Okay.
Ready?
Go ahead. Everyone at one so far, right?
Monday Night Football prime time. September 18th, 8:15 kickoff. Browns visit the Steelers. First AFC North game. Big game, prime time, Monday Night Football. What do you got?
Win.
Heinz Field, Browns. I'm going with a win.
Win.
So everyone got 2 so far.
2-0.
2 wins.
Then they got it's another primetime game. That's going to be Sunday Night Football. Get immediately, the next week, September 24th, 8:20 kickoff. Steelers visit the Las Vegas Raiders.
Win.
They win.
Win.
Raiders and Jimmy G. New quarterback. Yeah, I'll say it.
Is Josh Jacobs playing? Who knows?
Irrelevant. It's irrelevant if he's playing. Win.
Then the Sunday after, 1 o'clock kickoff, October 1st, Steelers visit the Texans.
I'm going to say win.
Win. So we're sitting
So we all have them starting 4-0.
4-0.
So
okay. Here we go. A week later, Sunday, 1 o'clock game, AFC North divisional game against the Ravens. Ravens come into Heinz Field. First time we see the Ravens this year.
I'm going to go with a win just because of the fact that they played the Texans the last week. I'm going to go with a win. I think I'm going to eventually have them splitting now.
I'm saying win. Home field win.
I'll take
Baltimore's receiving core, I think, is going to be better this year, but their defense, Marlon Humphrey, he's been dinged up. I think he's having surgery. He might,
his foot.
Humphrey will be back, but I'm going to say a win. Home field advantage.
Dan, what do you think?
I also will say win.
Okay.
Then they go on the bye. Okay.
Win.
Coming out of the bye, they travel to LA. They take on the Rams. 4:05 start, October 22nd.
Win.
Is that another win? I'm saying win a lot. I'm going to say win.
I'm going with a win. The Rams don't scare me. I know they got Aaron Donald, but that's about it.
And coming off a bye, you could question, they played the Ravens the week before, but they have a bye in between there. I'm saying win. A bye and then going out to California, a win.
And I mean, Matt Stafford's arm's falling off. Nobody out there scares me. I know we'll break it down more when that week comes, but
yeah.
All right. The week after, October 29th, 1 o'clock. Here's a scary one. The Jags come into Heinz Field. Take on your Pittsburgh Steelers. What do you got there?
I'm going to say loss.
I'm saying loss.
I'm going with a loss as well.
We're all 6. All right. I'm going to add the 1. Should I add the 1? Or no, I'll add it later. So I'll just subtract. Yeah, like I said before. We're good. We all have 6 wins. 6-1, basically.
Another primetime game, Thursday Night Football. The Tennessee Titans come into Heinz Field to play your Pittsburgh Steelers at 8:15. What do you got?
Win.
We're going to say win.
Win.
Their quarterback situation's crazy.
You never know what happens in a short week like that, but the quarterback situation does not worry me. Derrick Henry's good. I mean, but I think you neutralize that.
Yeah.
Their defense doesn't really. Their defense, is good, but doesn't. It's not like I wouldn't say it scares me, but
No.
I'll put that as a win.
10 days later, now you got a little bit of a long week. The Packers come into Heinz Field at a 1 o'clock kickoff, November 12th. What do you guys got?
I think I will be at that game. I am going to say a win just because I'll be there, and yeah.
I'm going to go win.
I'm going to say loss.
I'm going to go win.
So what do you guys got 8? I got 7.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right. It's booked. I don't know. There's just something about Packers coming to town. Something to prove. Say loss.
November 19th, 1 o'clock, AFC divisional game. The Steelers travel to Cleveland to take on the Browns. What do you got?
Loss.
Win.
Win.
All right.
The following week, November 16th, 1 o'clock game. Here you go. Another AFC North divisional game. First time you're going to see the Bengals. We travel to Cincinnati. What do you got?
Loss.
Loss.
So I have them losing a couple here so far.
December 3rd, 1 o'clock. The Arizona Cardinals come to Acrisure Stadium to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. What do we have?
For me, that's
Win.
their 8th win.
That's a win.
Win all around?
Yep.
All right. We got 8, 10, 10.
Another short week here. we do have 2 Thursday night football games. So that's our 4th game in prime time. 4th game in prime time. December 7th, the New England Patriots come to Acrisure Stadium.
Oh, that's going to be a win.
That's a win.
After what happened last year,
that's a win.
They won it.
I think win.
9. You guys both have 11 so far. All right.
Steelers travel to Indianapolis. Times to be determined. That's 10 days after the Patriots game. Take on the Indianapolis Colts.
Win. Jonathan Taylor questionable still. Who knows?
I'm going to say that's one of those ones they lose.
That's a loss, yes. I think that's one that they should win, and they end up dropping it. I
see, that's where I looked at that Packers game at.
That's fair. Yep. That's fine.
So that's where I look at that Packers game. So this is where I feel like we're going to start differentiating. I like having those games at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those obvious wins, because I feel like through the year they're still a young team. So I think the growing pains will be at the beginning of the year more than towards the end. Because with every Steelers team, there's usually more fight towards the end of the year. That's like fair. Big Ben's year, last year, they battle back. So I think there's more fight at the end of the year typically than at the beginning.
December 23rd, 4:30 kickoff. Cincinnati Bungholes come into Acrisure Stadium. What do we got?
Win.
Loss. I'm talking like 23-21. They kick a field goal to win it late. So it's not.
Andrew, what'd you say?
Andrew said win.
Okay,
that's one of them ones I think is a win. I think it's a nail biter, and I think they Cincinnati takes then sweeps us, and it's a late field goal.
Yeah.
December 31st, 4:05. The Steelers travel to Seattle.
I'm going to say that's a loss.
I'm saying that's a loss as well. They don't travel over there very well.
They don't play West Coast games well. I'm putting that as a loss.
That's a loss.
I'm trying to think of the last game they played against Seattle, how that turned out. That was a win. That was this year. That was 2 years ago. Because Geno Smith was the starter, I think. Or where did I watch him play?
Yeah, it would have been Geno Smith.
Yeah, it would have been last year.
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
I'm going with a win.
But they would have played here. Yeah.
So you guys both lost. I'll go win.
I think Andrew said win.
I said loss. Seattle lost.
Yeah. All right, next.
Final game of the season, December 7th, 2024. Time is to be determined, because this could be for all the marbles here. Who's making it the playoffs? Who's not? Ravens away. In Baltimore.
Loss.
I'm saying win. I think
that's crazy.
I think they little boy everybody except Cincinnati in our division.
I think we have 12-5.
How it all ended up was we all had 12 wins.
Wow. Just different losses.
Mine were just all at the beginning of the year, and your guys were all at the end. Because I had like 8 wins when you guys had like 11. And I rattled off like the end of the year. Win.
12-5, is that optimistic? Absolutely. I'd take 11-6. Yeah. Hell, I'd take 10-7. As long as they're putting up 23 points a game and they get to that 10-win mark, I think they make the playoffs.
So what's the tiebreaker going to be between us? That's what we usually, we had the Buccos one. We all had different wins, but we all had pretty similar.
I'd say we go by
Green Bay. Dan was the only one that chose for them to win the last game. Andrew, do you have any clutch you're against us picks?
I had Seattle, Indianapolis, Cincy, Baltimore, and Jacksonville.
Didn't have Indy. I was the one that took Indy, I think. Or no,
those are my losses.
I took Green Bay.
I mean, I'd say we just do, since we mostly have, we do different games. Let's do win-loss margin, like points. We'll just go by points. So that'll be it. I'd say that's the easiest way.
Okay. Well, just remember 12-5. That's all of our picks.
Yeah.
They have a schedule where they can just lose 3 games though. If they play their ceiling and they split with Baltimore and Cincy are the only 2 I'm worried about them splitting with. Those are the teams they usually split with when they're on an even playing field. And I'd say the Jags are the only playoff contending team that they are non-divisionally playing against, right?
I disagree. I'd say Seattle is up there.
Okay, yeah, Seattle. So they have 2.
Possibly, I mean, this is an optimistic one, but a wild card. If Anthony Richardson, it's a rookie quarterback, but he's got the tools. That conference, aside from Jacksonville, Indy, I don't think Indy's a playoff team. I take it back. I'd say
they're bad.
Seattle. What about the 49ers?
Nah. I understand Kyle Shanahan's a wizard, but I don't see that offense putting up numbers, especially the first game of the season. And I understand they got Nick Bosa, but they're a playoff team for sure. But
that's what I mean. But it's hard to I don't say root against, but it's hard not to put a team that has Kyle Shanahan and then the offense with McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, and Kittle. It's hard to have them not in the playoffs. So I think those would be the 3 non-conference teams that I'd say would be there.
I like looking at the schedule and trying to pick out a 6-game stretch that might scare me. And it starts with the Jags, and then Tennessee, Green Bay, Browns, Bengals, Cardinals. That 6-game stretch can make or break the season for them right there. It could possibly go 3-3, go 2-4 in that 6-game stretch, and that's bad.
3 would be the minimum they go there.
I think you go 4-2, 5-1 even. I think
they're more worried about the last 3 games. If it's a tight race and you got the Bengals, Seahawks, Ravens,
yeah.
That's where you gotta be a little scared.
That's a 3-game stretch that could put some fear in you, but it all starts with week 1. See where they're at, where the benchmark is for them.
Exactly.
And it's right around the corner, gentlemen. It really is. We're 2 weeks away. I can smell it in the air.
Football.
It's football season.
What about college? When's college starting up?
You guys should have the kickoff game, right? You guys should have the first game of the year.
WVU.
Yeah. Right?
Who's Pitt have? Is it
Wofford?
Wofford? Yeah.
Wofford.
The Terriers.
Is that at Pitt too?
I think so, yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, why would Pitt be traveling to Wofford first game? Yeah.
They're paying Wofford to come in here and get smacked around. That's how that happens.
This is Wofford's money game for the year. They're getting a lot of money for that. What else we got? Any more Bucko talk? Buccos are chalked. So
yeah.
It was a nice week not being able to watch them because I physically couldn't put myself through that. So I'm glad I didn't have to.
But I'm missing your updates on TikTok. You're watching the game, so I don't have to. I like those.
I haven't been able to.
I know, but I
got to enjoy those. Back up.
I did.
Should I do like a fake out? Be like watching the Buccos, so you don't have to, and just cut to like a Steelers montage of them ripping like 60-yard touchdowns.
Yeah.
So is Content Ryan going to be in full force this week, coming off of vacation?
It might be a slower week. I gotta get back into it. Like whenever it was the weeks leading up to it, I was in like the full swing of making stuff. I gotta get back into it. It might be a 3-4 day, not like a 5 day. I get those 5-day bangers in a row.
I started going on TikTok and posting some. I know Dan was liking the Skyline Chili slander, and
I did
the Carl Malone slander. So I got some more planned for that. Keeping it up. And I was talking about maybe do a little giveaway here on the pod. I got some inventory that I can give away, and hopefully it goes into the right hands. But yeah, I got some Steelers, Buccos. I got some different stuff. We can start doing some giveaways and getting some more people, giving back a little bit, giving back to the subs.
You see it on all the time. It's X now, but on Twitter, hey, we put up something in a giveaway, like, share, comment, tag a couple buddies, that's your entry right there. If you want a piece of memorabilia from Pittsburgh sports from Andrew's personal collection, not cards, but other memorabilia. Because I know he says his PC and stuff, but you can't have his PC of his Buccos cards. I know he holds those near and dear to his heart.
But I might be able to get rid of junk. Just say like memorabilia, like Goomass memorabilia. Just give them like some old like trinket that I have and I don't want.
Should we do a giveaway for today? A little sneak preview, Dan?
Sure. Why not?
Let me delve into the box here.
Okay.
See.
Because I'm sitting here and we have 383 subs on YouTube right now.
We got one more last week.
Our what X numbers? I don't know. Let's get those numbers up and like we said at 500 we'll do a giveaway. We'll do a jersey or something.
Oh, we have 996 1,000 follower giveaway on Twitter.
There we go. X. There we go. We'll do that. We'll do it for Twitter. 1,000 follower giveaway. We'll put up a picture or whatever it is, and then tag some friends, share it, retweet it, tweet, something at us. Let us know. Let's get engaged.
I'll give away
here.
that bat that I have that I found.
No, you're not. I almost took that back. But give me a team. What team?
I already have it boxed up and ready to ship.
What team? Like me?
Pirates, Steelers. What do we want to do a giveaway for? Right.
Well, since this episode was pretty much Steelers, let's do Steelers.
All right. I think I'm going through the PC for this one.
Oh, okay.
1,000 X giveaway.
So it's gonna be a little one, but this one will be it's a cool one. Rated rookie, green optic. How about a little rated rookie green optic Pat Freiermuth?
Can I enter in on that?
You can enter in on it.
Oh no.
What do you guys think though?
Yeah,
First little giveaway there. Rated rookie green Pat Freiermuth optic.
I like it.
Do it
for sure. Yeah.
Listen, so I already got I don't want to give away a regular rated rookie, right? No one wants the regular rated rookie, and I'm not going to be giving away the dual rookie RPA auto that I pulled.
No.
So we'll go with I'm going into this is for the viewers. This is for the Youngzers, the fans of the Youngzers. Pat Freiermuth green optic rated rookie. We'll do the Twitter giveaway. We'll randomize it, and I will mail it to you. Maybe I'll even throw in a little auto. Who knows? Just for the hell of it. But yeah, that'll be our first giveaway. Rated rookie green Pat Freiermuth optic.
I like it. And folks, if you've lasted this long, which I hope you have, our Youngzers second season of our punishment league starting up soon. We're gonna live stream it again like we did last year, September 2nd. I don't know if we picked out a time, TBD. Just stay tuned for that. We'll tweet out all that stuff. We'll tweet out the links and stuff, and that's gonna be a lot of fun.
That'll be our pod for the week. It'll be a live stream on Saturday, September 2nd. We'll do what we're doing, but I don't know if you saw, I put the group message together. We got some controversy, Dan.
I did see a little bit of it. I was driving home from Grove City yesterday when that was all blowing up. So there was 43 messages when I got home.
So I'm just letting you know, league history on ESPN. Last year's last place person, according to ESPN, Jake Gard.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was, we thought we were in the last place game. Yeah, no, I guess however they do it, it goes by win-loss and then points for the year, if it comes down to that.
Oh, okay.
Gard might be on the hot seat all of a sudden.
Sorry, Ben, you're going to have to do a punishment. I'm out now. Sweet. So I scored more points than him is what it's saying. That's the tiebreaker because I ended 3-10.
I think all three of us ended 3-10, and I had more points than you. You had more points than Benjamin Gard, who, may be on the hook for a punishment.
I don't need that stress again in my life. That was like a stressful, 10, 12 weeks. You know what I'm talking about, too.
Yeah.
I know.
That sucked. I started 0-4.
I just want to sit in the middle of the pack.
The Irish delegate, Josiah O'Brien, the new
Gary better pick something like good.
I like the naming of the babies, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Some of them names were pretty good too.
Yeah.
That's not a punishment though. That's a reward.
Chalupa
Yeah,
back
think
in.
for last place, not
Yeah,
first.
true.
You know?
Yeah. Like if I came in
still
last place,
Taco Mile. You guys better hope I never win because Taco Mile's inbound.
I'll do it.
Wait, unless I lose, then I have to do my own punishment.
You're on it. So if you win and you put a punishment in there, you are up for nomination to have to do that punishment if you come in last the following year.
Yeah,
So, here's the thing, though. I think we should do like a power of veto. Like, if you don't want to do your own punishment, you could delegate it to second place, so you get like a punishment that isn't yours.
No, that's the whole fun of it. That's if you're putting the punishment in and then you come in last, you have to do your own punishment.
I'm just going to do something that I want to do.
But it's got to be a punishment. You know what I mean? So like, don't do nothing.
I want to do.
Don't do nothing that you wouldn't do unless you're so confident that you're not going to come in last. Well, how are we picking the draft order?
I don't know. Roberts is a little. He wants to know. I mean, wants to know bad.
Well, if worst comes to worst, we can just do it by league standing.
I don't want the second overall pick.
We can't think of anything else.
We'll figure something out. We'll do something on draft day. How about we'll do something on draft day, randomize it live, or figure out something. We'll do it live where we'll figure it out. We'll talk about it. We got 2 weeks to figure it out.
Since it is a punishment league, I mean, everyone has a level playing field every draft. We'll just randomize it every year.
I agree.
Because me personally, if I come in last, I don't want the first overall pick. I think that's one of the worst picks you can have.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay.
It's not like the actual NFL where you're trying to get the best collegiate player coming into the league. This is,
that was the last pick last year. That sucked.
You did all right.
I took Diggs as my first pick. Diggs and Joe Mixon. That was my 1-2.
Something like that.
Yeah, that sucked.
You'll have that on these big jobs, though.
You will.
I mean, so yeah. Hey, good episode today, boys. Good episode.
I was thinking of this. I just want to say something real quick. Thank you guys again for letting me do this. I was sitting here thinking before I pressed record, I was doing some other stuff, and I have a lot of fun with this every week. I really do. And it's been almost a year since I've been on. A couple more episodes.
It has been.
I've been having a lot of fun doing this, and I know I said it at the beginning that I appreciate you guys letting me come on here. But I do. I appreciate you guys letting me come on here and having fun just shooting the shit. It's a lot of fun for me. It breaks up the monotony of the real world every once in a while.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It feels good to be appreciated every now and then,
Thank you.
know?
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I'm just an appreciation, throwing it out there to you two.
Do you have any Jags?
You do it. No, you do a ton though, Dan. You're the behind the scenes guy. You're the behind the scenes guy.
I am, hacker man. No, but yes, hey, you guys entrusted me to do a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, so that's fine, and I enjoy doing it. I really do.
Yeah. If you sucked at it, we'd let you know.
I'd hope so. I really hope so.
I got one Jag of the week though. Gary for having an Android.
I don't know if you guys would consider this a jag, but I'm gonna throw it out there. I was at the Dayton Fair last night. Took the boys up there.
Where's that at?
Dayton.
Oh.
Up by past just before New Bethlehem, up there in Armstrong County. And yeah, there's some creatures up there. It happens, but it was the rodeo last night, and we're just walking through. We got some food, some fair food, and we're eating. Huh? No funnel cake. It was at the beginning, and I totally forgot about it. But I got a gyro and some fresh cut fries. Owen got a corn dog. We all got some fair food. But I'm walking through, and they have the little carnival ride. So Owen's riding some rides and stuff. And I looked over, and there was a guy on the phone. But it wasn't an Android. It wasn't an iPhone.
Harry.
Wasn't a BlackBerry. It was a flip phone. I haven't seen one of those in ages. And I walked past and I saw him and he was on the phone. And I just glanced over and I took a double take. It what's that guy doing with a dinosaur in his hand?
So
I know it's on a Jag, but
how old was he?
He was older, but not he wasn't that old.
50s.
I would say 50s.
So there's one of two things. He just never moved on from technology, or he's in shady business and that's a burner.
That's fair.
That could be. You could have seen like a Soprano there.
Like I said, I don't think it's a jag, but I just had to throw it out there. I haven't seen one of them relics in years. They're gonna dig them up as fossils in another 100 years and be like, what is this?
Love a flip phone. Classic. It's a classic.
Very classic.
Did you any Jags?
Gary for having an Android.
Oh. Well, mine was that guy that I tabletop for standing in front of my wave. He kind of ruined my ride a little bit. I kept going, but like once I tabletopped him, it didn't go as far as it should have. I should have washed up on shore. I was maybe like 10 yards closer than I should have been. I rode it for maybe like 15 yards. It was one of them, it was a ride of the year probably. It might have been wave of the year.
All right.
It was awesome.
Alrighty then.
All right. Yeah.
We got the draft coming up. We got our first Youngzers giveaway on Twitter this week. Like, share, subscribe. Kids, go to your parents' phones. Do the same thing. Let's get it rolling. It's time.
Contest. Get your parents' credit card and tweet us the numbers on the front and the 3 wacky digits.
Expiration date too. Also, real quick, I don't think we said it. We're gonna start live streaming on the Youngzers YouTube channel, gaming and stuff. Some COD, some NHL's coming out, so we're talking about getting that. So if you're interested in that stuff too, keep the peepers tuned to Twitter or X, Facebook, stuff like that. We're gonna share out links and we're gonna start live streaming as well.
Tell you what,
we're gonna be doing some stuff to wet your whistles more than once a week.
Yes,
we're stepping it up this year. EA Sports Hockey League, we're looking for a goalie. So you're interested. We might have some tryouts. You're looking at 3 of the best power hitting forwards in the league. So if you can play defense, you can play goalie. We'll get some tryouts going. Let's get this rolling, because I don't know if you saw it, Dan. What's back in NHL this year? You can put people into the bench and you can break the glass.
Oh yeah.
So.
Oh yeah.
If you're watching this, if you see this, bring your A game. That's all we're gonna say.
All right. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that what we're ending it on? Him saying that?
Oh, I was waiting for you to drop a plug.
Oh, yeah. I don't have any.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, hit the bell.
Yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
Hit it a couple times. Go to the Apple store and hit them there too, I guess. Send us a video of you subscribing to every phone on the Apple store. You'll get a free piece of custom me memorabilia.
Yeah, you do that, I'll send you a Brian Giles.